Hello, this is Power Panda coming to you with, I think it's episode 4 of Divergent Paths. When we last left off, we were outside of the Returner's hideout. And now, when we pick up, you will see that we are in South Figaro. I realized before we made it to the Returner's hideout that there was something that I wanted to show you. It's not new content, but it's content that barely anyone has ever seen before. So if you go back, and you have to do this between getting Sabin and going to the Returner's hideout, there's a special couple lines between Sabin and Duncan's wife. So, Sabin, where's Vargas? Where's my husband? Master was Vargas. I'll never understand Vargas. Fortunately, my husband taught his most secret techniques to you. For 10 years, you've treated me like a son. I'm eternally grateful. And just that short little scene. There, now you have seen it. So we're gonna go. And let us equip. Actually, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna go buy a couple more relics. Okay, so we have bought a few more relics. If we look at our party loadout screen right now, we have goggles on everybody, star pendant on a couple, and Sabin actually has fairy ring, which is the combination of the goggles and the star pendant. He's also got the Moogle charm equipped, so you can see just what it's like to play through some of these early segments of the game, and how quickly it goes when you're trying to get from one place to another. So, Mount Colts. We're going to go through Mount Colts without any encounters. And this is an impressively large area compared to some of the other dungeons in the game. To have this come so early on in the game. It is the first major dungeon that you go through. So, while we're just walking along here, I thought I'd let you know I took a look at the code on the random encounters, so I felt that we were getting more than 33%, well, more than 2/3, less than 33% drop in encounters. And I found out that sometime in the past couple of years I actually did go back and make that a 25% reduction rather than 33%. So, I found that you just weren't growing quite fast enough, so that's a change that I made and totally forgot about it. The other thing that I noticed is that I had said earlier in the Moogle battle, the one where you get 11 Moogles on your team, that the NPCs respawned, and that isn't the case. I was mistaken on that. I was thinking of the Snowfield battle when I talked about it. But now we're going to go to the Returner's hideout, and this is the first place where we're going to see some slight storyline changes. It's King Edgar. This way, please. And I'm not in control right now, I just have to follow. Now I'm in control. And before we talk to him, we get this. Also, I wanted to show you something that I never knew that this was here until I started hacking the game. But you can get to the starting point of the Lete River, or Late River, whatever you call it, by going down in Bannon's room. Who knew? Oh, rewind for a second because I want to show you something. A lot of the events in the game have this. When your characters need to stand in specific places, there will be 4 different things, and it will say, if you're looking left, do this. If you're looking up, do this. If you're looking right, do this. And if you're looking down, then just play the scene as normal. So we're going to do this, and you see we circle around him, and then fan out. Bannon, we brought the girl with us. It's very expensive in the event code to do that, so I'm impressed that they did it every time that they needed to. Is she the girl who can talk to espers? Espers? Seemed the Empire had complete control over her. Carrier pigeons brought word that she wiped out 50 of the Empire's best soldiers in a few minutes. That's a lie! Terra, Bennett, she doesn't remember anything. It's terrible what they did to you. Perhaps you've heard this story. Once, when people were pure and innocent, there was a box they were told never to open, but one man went and opened it anyway. He unleashed all the evils of the world: envy, greed, pride, violence, control. All that was left in the box was a single ray of light: hope. We now confront those evils, and you are that last ray of light, our only hope. Bannon! You're a tool of the Empire no longer. So I rewrote several of Bannon's lines in that scene. He seemed a bit schizophrenic in the original script of saying something and then just shouting out, "Stay where you are! Oh, I'm a bit tired." I found that by rewriting a couple of those lines, I could make it flow better and give you more of an idea of what Bannon was actually getting at. Someone important to me was jailed by the Empire. I've hated the Empire ever since. I joined the Returners when I realized the Empire was rotten to the core. I wanted to make a difference. Now, what's interesting is we never actually find out who Locke is talking about here. He's not talking about Rachel. But I have no significant other in my life. That's not entirely true. Besides, I'm sure there are people who feel you're important to them. They're counting on you. And we loot the Returner's hideout of all of its valuables. I don't remember where all of them are, so we're checking every box. Please join us in our battle. Ooh, air lancet, I forgot we got that here. Okay. The only thing I can add is that you can trust my brother implicitly. He's always been fair with me. You can trust him, Terra. But don't you dare tell him I said that. The Empire is arresting returners everywhere. We have to discover some means of fighting back, or... Now here, there's an antidote in this shop taking the place of the sprint shoes. Eye drops, we have goggles on everyone, so we don't need many of them. But a lot of the enemies in the next section are going to be able to blind us. Now, here's something. We received green cherry, and I didn't know this, but if you search under the table, someone dropped a scrap of paper. Toss it in the trash or leave it there. We're gonna leave it there. It's gonna be tough to talk you into helping us. If we push you too hard, we're no different than the Empire. So we want you to make up your own mind. Now we'll be able to go talk to Bannon. Bannon? He went outside a moment ago. Have you made a decision? Will you become our last ray of hope? Okay, so talking about this, in the original game, if you answer yes, Bannon will give you a gauntlet here. If you answer no, I think if you have to refuse him 4 or 5 times, then later on the returners will band together and get you a Genji glove, which I've named bracers in this hack. For reasons that you will see once we get them, if you answer yes the first time, you will get both a gauntlet and bracers. But I'm scared. The person who possesses this relic need not fear harm. Now, if you answer him no at least once, then you'll only get the gauntlet. Please, Terra, I'd like you to take it with you. What is this? A lucky charm. Take it. Received gauntlet. I have a plan. Please get everyone together. Who did this? Who left this piece of paper here? Just a little bit of an Easter egg if you find the paper and decide not to throw it away. It serves no gameplay function at all. Right. We all know that the Empire is using Magitech power in battle. The question is, how has the Emperor created it? I had Locke look into the rumor that the Empire is forcing the world's finest scholars to study espers. All the trouble in Narsh is over an esper too. You mean there's some connection between the espers and Magitech? I can only recall one thing linking espers with Magitech power. You don't mean... Indeed. The ancient war of the Magi. No, it can't be. My grandma used to tell me stories about magical machines. Could they have been true? Could that ancient tragedy be playing out once again? It's just speculation, but historical studies have provided a number of conflicting and frightening theories. According to one theory, humans and machines were imbued with powers drained from espers. That could explain Magitech power. We can only fight Magitech enemies with Magitech weapons. Fool! That's how the Magi Wars are said to have started. Then what do? We have to communicate with an esper. With an esper? It's risky, but if we have Terra speak with that esper, it might just wake up. I wonder if that's wise. Who can say? Regardless, we need Terra's help. Terra. I'll do it. Terra. Thank you. What? What's that noise? Emergency! Sir Bannon! South Figaro. What's going on? What happened? Empire took Figaro. Coming this way. They found us, so we haven't a moment to lose. Locke! I know. Someone has to sneak into South Figaro and slow the Empire down, right? This is right up your alley. Good luck. Terra, please wait for me, and please, don't let a lecherous young king who shall remain nameless near you. Locke! Big brother, aren't you ever going to grow up? We need to alert our allies in Doma, and then make haste for Narsh. As the King of Figaro, will you help me convince Doma to join us? Of course! I can also get the King in Doma to lend us a boat to get to Narsh, and the Esper. It's a gamble, but we're fresh out of options. You're in danger here. Come with us to Doma. You'll probably even gain some understanding of your own abilities. We've no time to dilly-dally. Let's make for Doma. We can escape down the Lete River. There's a raft by the back entrance. We all appreciate what you're doing for us. We took up a collection to get you this gift. This relic will keep you safe. Received bracers. Okay, so you noticed a couple changes in that scene. In the original game, they didn't talk about going to Doma at all. Getting to Doma was an accident. Because of the way that I've rearranged the scenarios, Doma is no longer an accident. Okay, so Edgar, we're going to give the Gauntlet, which will raise his defense. It will drop his evade, but it allows him to hold the Regal Cutlass with both hands, which is going to make him pretty powerful. Do we want to do that? No, actually. we're going to make sure that he has the goggles. Sabin. I think we'll get the bracers, but yeah, we don't. There is something that wasn't right there. I'm gonna have to rewind. I think we may have found a bug here. Okay. Metal Knuckle, let's try removing that and save a state. That's totally taking away the Metal Knuckles. Metal Knuckles should be compatible with dual wielding. Yep, so there's a bug there. I'm going to have to take a look at it. I haven't run across that before, but for now it doesn't make a difference. We're going to optimize that. Terra is going to get the gauntlet. And then Bannon, you'll notice, is at level 9 and not at level 7. In the original game, he would have trailed 2 levels behind the other characters. He also has a heavy shield from the start, a coronet, and a silk robe. So he's got some defense, he's got some HP, and he has control instead of health. So let me just check my relic loadout. Gauntlet, Star Pendant, True Knight Goggles, Fairy Ring. Sabin can have another True Knight. This raft will take us to Doma. Hop aboard? Yes. The Lete River has many twists and turns. Don't get caught in a loop as you make your way to Doma. It did not give us a warning about protecting Bannon at all costs, because the game will not end if Bannon falls. Okay, we're going to have him cast Fireball on himself. Bannon's redesign, health was reworked into the ability for the 16th character, which we'll talk about when we get there, which required Bannon having something else. So I modeled him, I forget, one of these is a loop. We'll go to the right. Modeled him after the Mediator from Final Fantasy Tactics, being able to control other characters. Now this gets really funny from a gameplay standpoint when Bannon starts interacting with Gao. Now, even if we had the Moogle Charm equipped here, it wouldn't work, because these events are not being handled by random encounters. There are certain tiles that when your raft passes over them, it will give you a 50% chance of whether you have a battle or not. Also, another fun fact is that I didn't know this, but it's possible to come and redo this river segment later on in the game after you get the airship. And if you do this with Mog, this is one of the places that you can learn Water Rondo. Now, with my hack, we don't need to learn Water Rondo in the World of Balance. You can learn it in the World of Rune just fine. Okay, we are at our first cave. And like we usually do, we will heal up with Terra and use a sleeping bag on her. We actually don't need to use a sleeping bag quite yet. This raft has a merchant on it. That was their placeholder graphic. They have a merchant and they blank it out. And then when you choose, I think it's left. When you choose to get on the raft, the merchant disappears. And it is replaced with Terra on a raft. Okay, now, even though we didn't get a battle in between, we're using a sleeping bag here because we are about to fight a certain purple octopus. Now, RNG, you can make it from the save point to Ultros without a battle, but it's pretty rare. Bannon gained a level. Right here is the next place where we might get a battle, and we missed it. What? What is it? Ooh, game over. Don't tease the octopus, kids. I love how they just never explain what Ultros is, why he has a beef with your party. It's just all gone. Now he will counterattack fire, but it's still worth it. Whew. I should have put her in the back row. Again, I'm not too concerned about Bannon because we won't lose the battle if he falls. Okay, well, we're gonna restart this battle from the save point. No problem. But we're gonna put Terra and probably Bannon in the back row. Make sure he's healed up from the level that he gained. When you get a game over in this game, I believe you keep your experience, but you lose any items. Don't tease the octopus kids again! I'm gonna try Bio Blaster. I don't remember if that works. Okay, and Terra was able to survive that. Yeah, with Bannon no longer having health, Terra needs to be a healer through a lot of this battle, and it is a little bit harder. Oh, that's right, Bannon doesn't have goggles. Yeah, we probably better be safe. I'd love to have a turn where I can get fire off. The reason I'm using Tiger Break every time, Suplex doesn't work on him. We don't have Pummel anymore. And Aura Bolt, he is much more susceptible to physical damage than magical damage. Okay, we are going to have him use Eye Drops on himself. That's all, friends. Okay, here we go. Here is where the changes to Divergent Paths begin. I guess we thrashed it. At least storyline changes. Don't bet on it. It's probably just hiding from us. Ew! Something stuck to my leg! Terra, over here. It's all right now. Watch out! I'm gonna hit it with a blitz. No, Sabin. Don't distract me, brother. He's always been a tad zealous. Sabin! Don't worry about him. Are you sure he's okay, Bannon? You should know better than any of us. Any moment he'll flop onto the raft. What the? Huh. Sabin! Sabin! I'm going in after him! Sabin! Edgar! Don't worry about them. That branch goes to Doma. I have no idea where this branch goes. Bannon and Terra race towards unknown lands, while Sabin and Edgar follow the river to Doma. And How is Locke faring after having penetrated the Empire's defenses in South Figaro? Is all going according to plan? Choose a scenario, Kupo. Yeah, this is a glitch that I have not been able to track down. The Mog sprite glitch. Let's reset, load from that save. Let's see if we can get it. Yep, so when you reload, everything's fine. Anyway, we've got a couple of glitches to look into. The using the bracers when you don't have two equipable weapons. I did try to account for that in the code, but I think I may have misplaced a pointer somewhere. So take a look at that. Any ideas on the mod glitch, let me know. That's been around since the beginning and happens occasionally. Doesn't happen when you load the next time. If you have any ideas, feel free to contact me. For now, that's all we have. Thanks.